Namaste. Welcome back, beautiful souls. This is your tarot card of the year reading for the moon. And I have chosen for your reading the Lily Black Tarot. Beautiful, beautiful deck. And there's nice lighting on my table right now, so you'll be able to enjoy the lovely pastels on the black paper. Sometimes it feels like chalk paintings. This is a year for you about being comfortable in the darkness, among other things. Really embracing the energy of the divine feminine, however she manifests in your life, getting comfortable with the goddess. And the moon is a journeying card. The moon is a card that is the third major arcana associated with water. We have the Chariot, and then the Scorpio card of death. And then we sort of rise out of the water, and we carry on. We carry on, and this major arcana is associated with the zodiacal sign of Pisces, which is the final sign of the year. And it is very watery, and it's new age. It's full of emotion. It's not an easy path to wander through, and yet I think we can learn a lot from the associations in the tarot, which are the 8, the 9, and the 10 of pentacles. Of water cups, of course. Hello to Mary Beth and Clevis. Welcome back. So let's turn to the table. The wheel is on the table already. Jupiter. So Jupiter is the ruler of Pisces in classical astrology. So this is a year of expanding into this archetype. And I think they just move beautifully together, and sort of it's a promise of no stagnant water, or an invitation to not let it get stagnant. I want to acknowledge it's the 4th day of January 2026. The sun is in Capricorn, the moon is in Leo. And this is a reading for Pisces, for the moon, and for those of you with the number 18 as your card and number for 2026. As always, I ask this message be in the highest for the greatest good, and that no harm be done. So be it. Can't imagine that the moon would be anywhere else. Water, water, water. Transformation. Star. No moon. Moon is not here. Moon is not in the water. Okay, moon is not in the water. Wow, this is an enormous, enormous pile of cards. Are you here? Magician. It's a gorgeous fool is here. World. Devil. Nope. Sun. Okay. Wow. Well, I guess on one hand, it is a receptive pile. It is not that enormous pile that was the fire pile. I guess that is a good thing. In that, what I mean by that is that's a lot of energy to navigate. It's like having, too many things to do. So many family members to look after. This feels a little bit more manageable. And I love that the this beautiful 10 of Pentacles here on the bottom, right? Another wheel card. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, the Tower. Also, the Sun is here, so that's kind of nice that the Sun is here in this pile with the Moon. The Hermit is also here. That's kind of nice. Okay, so let's do this reading. And so my procedure, if you want to learn more about the procedure, go back to the first video, which is the number 10 card video. And all of these videos are in a playlist. Info is linked below in the description box. Okay, so all of these will come after. So there are 10 cards here. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. I think another promise here is that the wheel plus, or not necessarily a promise, but wheel plus moon, that feels very lunar cycle. So lunar cycles are going to be really important to you this year, the study of them, the awareness of them. There are 13 of them, and I would suggest that you find a way to acknowledge all 13 of them. Maybe set up something in your journal so you are really having a good look at the 13 lunar cycles and doing it in whatever sort of way feels meaningful to you, starting with the first new moon in a couple weeks' time. And if this is not something that you practice, I think this will be really good to get the energy of this arcanum into your heart space. So we have a masculine energy. This is the King of Pentacles as your first card. King of Pentacles. So maybe the 78th card in the tarot, the most integrated of kings. A very strong energy to start with, and maybe one that you will need to keep you grounded, but it will also support you in that, giving you confidence to walk through this year. And it's followed by two majors, Hermit and then Justice, 9 and then 8. And the King looks in the same direction as the Hermit and towards Justice. And the Moon is a card that is in the darkness. And the second card takes us into the darkness. Now there's something really vulnerable about this particular Hermit card in that it looks like it's very feminine. It looks like it is a womb in a tree, granted, but it looks to me like it's a womb. This is about going back to the womb, going into the darkness, going into a cave. And I think this might also be a really great medicine for this year, having the Moon as a major. And that is going back to heal your birth story. This is an experience that I did many years ago. It took a lot of work, a lot of research. If your mother is still alive, you have an opportunity to actually interview her. Might take a great deal of courageousness for some people. But this is to find out about your circumstances while you were in the womb. How was your mother feeling? What was she doing? What was her life like? You know, who was she surrounded by? Was she supported? How did she feel? What were the range of emotions that she experienced while she was pregnant with you? What was that water like? Was it healthy? Was it toxic? And then what was the actual birth experience like when you emerged from the hermit out into the world? It's a huge project, and it might seem like an impossible project for some, but oh my goodness, what a journey that is. And in a way, I feel like, you know, this is the Father who's looking on. The Father has your back. And this is, you know, this hermit looks quite vulnerable. The scales look like tears. And in a way, a karma being released. And this all feels very kind of important. The 12th house of your horoscope says a lot about prenatal circumstances. Thank you for this. Thank you for that, Mary Beth. So yeah, I feel like this could be a really powerful reveal and deepening and getting to know yourself. And there's something about that Father at the back. Your Father has your back. I don't know how you might want to, hi Donna, how you might read that. That's a pretty strong energy. And so know that, yes, when you are processing challenging karmas, in a way, it is a release. And every tear, every release helps you to find harmony, you know, in a new way. Donna, if you missed the beginning, replay it, because I can't believe where I ended up going with this reading. So, wow. All right, so 1, 2, 3. Death. Okay, so you are just lots of major archetypes here. 9, 8, 13. 1. 1 of Pentacles. You are reborn. Page of Water. That is very, very cool. I feel like this story is just sort of coming together beautifully. And through the releasing, the processing of this story, of this experience. And you know, when you research your birth story, you will meet new people. And it might be you might be surprised who knew your mother. You know, and for some people this might seem impossible, but if you want to heal, you know, which is kind of the mandate of stepping into a human body, anything is possible. Anything is possible. And with the level of communication that's available out there these days, it amazes me how the chats I get from people in the middle of nowhere in India these days, that internet just used to be so impossible. So what I'm saying is, while this seems like a huge theme and a huge ask, it certainly might be something that you want to take on, because what I'm seeing here is that this invitation, it sort of ends in a birth in ways, right? So there's death, then there's Ace of Pentacles, and the Ace of Cups. So receptive suits, a vulnerability, an awakening, a beginning, right? Two cards of beginnings. And really an opportunity for a kind of do-overs in a way. And that do-over could simply just be the way that you have had misunderstandings your whole life of where you've come from and who you are. You know, we make a lot of assumptions, and I work with a lot of people, and often clients will say very harsh things about their parents. And sometimes, depending, I try to be gentle and loving, and at the same time steer people in ways they might not want to look. And well, do you know why can you understand why your father may have behaved that way? Can you walk a mile in your father's shoes? Can you get into his heart and his space and begin to and not see your perceived suffering? Can you see it in a different way? Can you see that your parents are human? Your parents went through a great deal of their own, and they're walking their own path and their own journey. I'm thinking of a song. I think it's from church. You are a child of God. Might have be the song that goes with the United Nations Child of the Day. I forget what the song is. You are a child of God. No one can take my. I think it does. I think it has to do with the right of the child, the UN Child Day. And it's a really powerful theme that you can recover a lot through this awareness. So let's go back. So the moon, right? Having the theme of the moon as a theme for the year is about reflection. It's about looking deeply into the waters. And in this card, you can see there's a mask of a dog above the water, and then you can see a mask of a wolf below. And the water is all stirred up, and above, the perception is that the waters are calm. And there is the phase of the moon is also different. I don't know, I just feel like this is, if what I'm saying isn't resonating or possible, what similar personal exploration could you take on to help yourself journey through the darkness, through the discovery of your own divine feminine, to be in this mood of the wheel? And how could you attach your studies and your discoveries and your to the lunar cycles? Like, how could you build all of these into connections and know that this is part of a very important unfolding for you? And with each discovery, know that it is what would be a good verb? I don't think we actually complete karmas. You know, they're pretty big, so we make big steps. It feels like you could make some really big steps in harmonizing some karmas. And I say that, I mean, I have a woman that I haven't seen for years, but she channels Archangel Metatron and does some karmic healing readings. And I did ask her, I said, well, is it possible in a lifetime to heal a big archetype like this? And she said, you know, not likely, but you certainly can make major steps. And I think to hear that is kind of disheartening for some people, but this is big work that we're doing. So be patient with yourself and exhale a lot. Six of fire. Oh, wow. Love this. Eight of cups. Four of wands. What this feels like to me. So this Four of Wands here, you know, in the ninth position, it just feels like you find some stability of your purpose, that all this is kind of worthwhile. I mean, you have confirmation of the worthwhileness after the Page of Cups. There's a Six of Fire there. But sometimes a Six of Fire, you can kind of still feel alone. It's quite a... It can be also quite a, I don't know. There's some shadowy stuff to the Six of Fire, though it's a wonderful card. And yes, it is at the heart space. It is in Tiferet. It is in the heart chakra. It is a six. It is a harmonious card. I think we need to really, and maybe this fits into this theme as well too, that those five wands that are down below that dominating wand above, we need to give thanks and remember who all those wands are below that allowed us to become who we are. And then with that, you let go and you move on. You know, there's kind of a really beautiful story here. Now, Eight of Cups also, very important card for you. First decan of Pisces. Eights are highly transformational, and that lemniscate energy with water just fits in really, really nicely here. And so the Eight of Cups also speaks kind of beautifully to the Hermit, in that these are both cards of journeying and journeying into the depths of our soul. And there is, in a way, it feels like there's a bit of a reward for that. Like you will reap the benefits of your journeying, of your soul work. You know, and we often don't see it. But I feel like there's some cards here that really say, yeah, you're gonna feel this. You're going to feel this, and you're going to know that this was so worthwhile. I wonder if the Eight of Cups also speaks to the physical journey of what, the information that you are seeking out. And I do repeat, this is not intended to be January, February, March, April, May. It's not intended to be that. I really see this as, as a weaving, as a web, as a mandala. Okay, so you saw this already in the, when I turned the cards over before, that your 10th card is the sun. And you couldn't have a more beautiful 10th card reflecting your moon card, which is your card of the year. And there's so much strength in the King of Fire. You've got powerful, watery energy supported by incredible, and I feel generous, fiery energy. Middle decan of Leo. Definitely associated with Leo. What you don't have here is swords. I mean, I guess suppose you could, this is one air card. Pretty powerful air card. But quite a balanced reading. And I think that should give you courage on this path, on this journey. That you begin with a message of, you've got this, you can do this, there is strength behind you. And it ends with vital life force and energy and new life. And this card is these cards are about as much new opportunities as the sun is. And and the sun used to be a card of love and lovers and happiness, all your wildest dreams coming true. And so be brave in whatever dark, twisty paths you journey on in this year. Feel inspired. And know that you do indeed have the strength and the support of your spirit team to navigate all of this. Don't be afraid to awaken new parts of yourself. Ooh, I love that too, Donna. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, so wow, amazing set of cards for you for 2026. And I also love that there's so much promise of new beginnings. And if you ever wanted a do-over or you ever wanted a fresh start, this is certainly clearly stated here for you. So have a wonderful, wonderful 26 and be brave and ask the hard questions and never be afraid to know more about yourself and where you came from and who you are. Love. Sending you love. Namaste.